Oh, well, time to delve into the social media world and Perpetual Fasame Peter. Hi, baby.
Hello, good morning. Good to see you.
Good morning.
All red today.
Yeah,
All red.
all red. You can say that again.
So what's happening in social
Roses
media?
are red. What else?
Violet are blue. But there's no one else like it.
you got those short.
No, I had enough of them, so I'm still here. Let's go to the social media world.
All right, welcome. I am Perpetual Fasama Peter, bringing you what's trending on social media. Well, we'll start with this particular hashtag, Justice for David. Reactions have continued to trail the killing of sound engineer, simply identified as David. Though there are two versions of what seemed to have led to the barbaric killing of David, one thing remains clear: he was lynched and burnt by an angry mob over a disagreement with a bike man, a 100-yard disagreement, by the way. While one version claimed he and a colleague boarded the bike, another said he only came to make peace before he was lynched. Recall that Deborah Samuel was killed in similar manner a few days ago as a result of what her killers described as blasphemy. Now, talking about the two reports we have, the two accounts, I think I'll just very quickly take us through this particular tweet by the sister-in-law. She said, "This is the real story leading to justice for Dave Sound. Because I'm seeing some comments about my brother-in-law being a Yahoo boy or ritualist, and it's really breaking my heart. Yes, Uncle David was killed over 100 naira. This is what really happened." And then we have the next one. We have a place that is underlined which says Uncle David was not one of these passengers. Okay, and the next one, we have a place underlined saying, "My brother-in-law came to separate Fighto." And after that, we have, prior to this, around last week, someone had slumped and died, and people had suspected foul play, saying the incident was linked to guys on a bike who could possibly be Yahoo boys. And then finally, we have the next one and a particular place marked saying he wasn't dragging 100 naira with a bike man. He was called in to separate the fight. And then this is Okwe trying to clear the air, tell us what really happened. But before then, she already tweeted something where she said, "This is my brother-in-law, one of the nicest people I've ever met, brutally and unjustly killed by Hausa bike men because he was having a misunderstanding with one of their bike men. Lagos is no longer safe." And she said some other things right there. And for me, some persons were wondering why we have two accounts. But of course, irrespective of whatever it is, whether he was one of the two at first or he came in to, bring about peace and all of that, what matters is that he was lynched and he was killed. Let's look at some of the reactions we have. At Olawale's tweet says, "I'm not saying she's wrong." That's reacting to the sister-in-law in question. Yeah. But how did this story come to be, please? One thing that's clear is Dave wasn't what they thought he was. Definitely wasn't a ritualist. And then we have at Ophobi saying, "There is something fundamentally wrong with Nigeria. The structure, the system, the institutions, the people, lawlessness, traverses every corner of the country. So no one was able to call the police, or the police failed to show up. What is really happening in this country?" And then I'll take one more. Wait, let's get this right. All these things was happening. No one could call the police or even try to separate them. But why do we take laws into our hands? People
were literally taking videos, recording what was happening. And I'm wondering, where is our humanity? This is something that happens, in a place like Lagos, and you're wondering, how did we get here?
You know why? I think some of the reason, this is it. They said something happened a while ago, which they suspected that it was Yahoo boys and all of that. So they felt like, oh, this is another Yahoo boy.
Even if he was a Yahoo boy, why are you taking laws into your own hands? It's not your place to punish someone for a criminal act. It's not your place to do that. Let the law handle that. And we've been seeing cases of jungle justice in this part of the country.
And this even has nothing to do with justice to start with. It's just annoying.
No, I'm saying that for those who are saying that here, they thought it was a Yahoo boy and all of that. Where is it their own duty to take out or to punish someone for a crime committed? This is something that we see happening, and you're wondering, where exactly is the place of our humanity? I watched that video, and I really wish I didn't, because it's really traumatizing. The fact that at a point he was helpless, he couldn't do anything, and they still kept on beating him.
It's ridiculous. It drives us back to the dark ages where jungle justice was the order of the day. You hear someone steals, even if it's just 20 naira. The next thing is, where are the tires? Where are the, it's ridiculous. At this time, at this age, you expect that people should be more sensitized and aware that when they, you know, apprehend the criminal, it should be handed over to the appropriate
police.
authorities. Again, all of these things, be you know, ritualized or whatever it is, the instance, the issue is a life was lost, which could have been avoided. This wasn't an accident. You know, this was man-made. And that's something that shouldn't be. So we as the people need to do better. Individuals need to also understand that while we may be from different backgrounds or religious beliefs and what have you, what binds our common humanity is that we're humans. We have lives in ourselves.
We have to act better. Well, let's move on to the second story. This is really, really sad to say the least. A group in Anambra Civil Society Network, that's ACSONET, has commended the state governor, Prof. Soludo, for visiting the leader of IPOB in custody. The chairman of ASCONET, Prince Chris Azo, described the visit as part of peace building and engagement strategies put in place by Soludo in his attempt to find a lasting solution to insecurity in the southeast. And of course, we have Kanu's brother, Prince Emmanuel, saying Soludo's visit was an indication that IPOB leader was not a bad person as being portrayed. And then we have the governor who tweeted saying, according to the governor, he tweeted something saying he expressed sadness. That's Nnamdi Kanu expressed sadness over what he described as sacrilegious killings of innocent persons, kidnappings, and all forms of criminalities, including the brutal enforcement of the senseless sit-at-home perpetuated by sundry groups claiming to be acting for or on behalf of IPOB. You know, we started this conversation last week talking about who exactly gives these orders. And now, according to the governor, he had said that when he met with MNK, that's Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, he claimed, he condemned everything happening in the East in its totality. And then that brings us to the question, who then is giving the order? But then there is this Simon Oko, who also started trending as a result of this. Simon Ekpa, beg your pardon. He puts out something. He said, tell Soludo that we are not doing photo freedom fighting. The only broadcast we'll listen to is freedom broadcast. Only when MNK broadcasts to us from his house or somewhere else, we will not listen to any broadcast from the courtroom. We know their next plan. And then someone responded saying, Soludo is fooling himself. He went there only for sit-at-home solution. We'll never relent or surrender until our leader, MNK, is released unconditionally, simple and short. A lot of other things. There was even this this video. It was ridiculous. That's why I didn't even bother trying to show it here. But then for that video, they're saying that that it was really not they were saying that the picture we saw of Soludo and MNK was doctored. They're saying that's a clone, that was not MNK. I mean, a lot of funny things. And to think that some persons totally believed that particular video and they're responding to it. This person says, until then, we will know if it is really Mazi or someone else. Never trust these people for a second. And then this one says, thank you, my brother. Or maybe edit picture that they cut his head and put Kanu head because... That's just, it's sad. For me, when I saw the story, I felt like we have people who are instigating, and they're really instigating one another to do certain things. And at the end of the day, this thing is not for the good of Alibo. It is not for the good of Undibo. At the end of the day, we are further, pushing this place into poverty. That's what I believe.
Well, two things, really. When the leader of, if a group is incarcerated, what you have is you either have the group split in terms of another faction, or the second in command takes charge. So when you say who is giving the orders, that MNK, condemns whatever it is they're doing in terms of the sit-at-homes or the various killings and all. If the man is alleging that he's not the one giving the orders, it means that someone else who is taking command in his absence. Which
consequently means that the meeting wouldn't yield any results. Because if he does a broadcast and then he says, stop the sit-at-home, stop all of this, the people who are perpetrating it wouldn't agree with
because him. He's not the one calling the shots now. Again,
let's see how it pans out.
Because we've also seen leaders who are quite strong and have a strong grip on the group, that even when they're away, probably in jail or wherever they are, they can still call the shots and it is obeyed. I mean, we had a politician who was away for long and he was still calling the shots in a state somewhere in the Niger Delta. So it is what it is. I really hope that at the end of the day, we find a lasting solution to the peace in the southeastern part of the country.
Absolutely, and I totally agree with what she said, talking about, if we have factions that are adamant, that means this meeting may not yield anything. We need to know what to do to really nip this in the bud.
We just have to stay hopeful and see how this pans out in the coming days. Well, let's wrap it up with the quote of the day, and this is by David Brinkley. It says, a successful man is one who can lay a firm foundation with the bricks others have thrown at him. A successful man is one who can lay a firm foundation with the bricks others have thrown at him. Of course, this simply means that life comes with difficulties, obstacles, challenges, but you have to learn to manage those difficulties.
And keep moving.
You know, keep moving
Basically.
and turn them to success. Well, that is where we wrap it up today. Thank you so much for being a part of iBrand Daybreak. My name is Omobolanle Adeshui. Ensure that you make success out of every challenge you face today. Have a good day.